derivatives and the money printing. You get into that, and it's so complex that it's difficult for people to grasp it. So you've got to keep the message simple. And again, I think there's three things that if we stay focused on message. And the first one is that our government in Washington is bought and paid for by the moneyed interest. We have no influence. We're not going to get anybody elected that's going to change anything because, number two, the message is controlled. The mainstream media, and this is the second thing people need to realize, 98% of it is owned by 6 corporations, and it's scripted. And they're not going to go off message. There's too much money involved. So the third point is it's up to individuals to begin to think, and to think clearly, to think critically, and to pursue truth. Thank God for alternative media. Thank God for your program.
Oh, please don't thank me.
Well, this is so important because the outlets for truth are narrowed now, but they exist. And alternative.
But there's real danger. They're trying to shut them down. It's here in the news today. Go ahead.
You betcha they are. They realize that that people that are fully aware are not going to tolerate the loss of their freedoms, either through these executive orders that defy the Constitution, or the National Defense Authorization Act, or the spending of money. Your parents are retired. They're supposed to live off their savings. They're supposed to get 6% interest and enjoy the benefits of what they've saved their lives for. Well, they're getting nothing. 0.6% interest if they're lucky, or 0.06% interest. Our government, through its monetary policy, have destroyed the life, taken trillions of dollars from our parents who saved and prepared for retirement. Where's the outrage over this? This is insane. And it's supposed to be to stimulate the economy. Well, we just had a negative first quarter. We're about to have another negative. There is no stimulation of the economy. All there is massive debts that have been placed on the backs of not our children and grandchildren, because it's not going to last that long. This massive debt is going to bankrupt the system in this country and change all of our lives.
Wow. Gary Haven is our guest. Mike Norris is here, and he's going to get into his view on the world and a lot more coming up. In fact, if you guys will do it, we'll do the whole next hour. And who knows, if you want, we'll open the phones up to talk to both you guys. But I'm telling you, this is amazing. We're doing the whole hour with us, and the guys are getting lunch. Did you ever find out what you guys wanted for lunch? Did you ever
turkey.
Okay, you want a turkey sandwich? You want barbecue turkey?
No. Some nice.
By the way, you weren't fat like I've been, but you've lost a ton of weight, Mike.
Yeah, I'm trying. Thank you.
When was the video shoot of the film shoot? 3 months ago?
In January and February? Yeah, about January, February.
It was 3-4 months ago.
About 25, 30 pounds since then.
Yeah, I mean, I've lost. I gained 99 pounds. I was literally as fat as Rush Limbaugh almost. Not quite, but the point is, when he was fat, I'm not being mean. And then I've lost 60-something of it, but I still need to lose another 25.
Yeah, it's tough. That last few pounds.
Well, you've done it, buddy.
I got no choice. I saw myself on film. I about had a heart attack. I looked like John Candy.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Are we on air?
We are.
I got to tell your audience, they have no idea how awesome this is here. This is fun.
Well, thank you. No, it's we get up here and just talk and cover the news and just go over the information, take calls, have great people on.
I was having an out-of-body experience listening to you two go at it, talking about...
Well, let me tell you, this guy, you can tell why he made billions of dollars. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. Please, Mr. Gavin, I'm saying Mr. Haven, I do that all the time, I conflate names. Please continue, Gary, getting into the solutions. First, identify the problem, and then get into the solutions. We're going to start the next hour and get into Chuck Norris lore. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're heavy now. We'll get light later. That's the plan. Yeah. Well, Alex, you and I share a common goal, and that is we're committed to getting the truth out to people. And we're committed to protecting and defending the Constitution of this country against enemies, foreign and domestic. And I don't know that our forefathers, I don't know that George Washington understood that the domestic threat that was going to exist for our freedoms in this country that we have today.
Well, can you imagine what the founders would... I mean, everybody always says that, but this is becoming crazy land. And the Democrats have announced they want to shut down talk radio and libertarian conservative news. It was just announced today. It's up on Infowars.com. Election Commission Dems want to regulate conservative internet super PACs. They've made the announcement. They promised they wouldn't. Just let the FCC run the internet. And now what are they doing?
Yeah, it's crazy. I want to share a story with you. I felt and this is a God thing. I was given an opportunity to teach the Governor Abbott, about. In fact, here's the way it began. I said, Governor, or in fact, he was the Attorney General at the time. I said, General, you're going to be the most important governor in the history of Texas. And he gave me a really odd look, and he said, how so? And I said, you're going to be in a position to choose to comply with an out-of-control dictatorial federal government.
You told me this story in February, and now it's happening
Isn't it?
with him and Jade Helm.
Isn't that amazing?
And you told me at dinner, you said, I believe he will be in that position. God basically told me. And that is, I'm getting chills. I don't mean to steal your thunder. You just can't make this stuff up. We should have led with this. Hey, I've run into a chief of staff on the street twice in the last 2 weeks. And then he comes over and shakes my hand and we start talking about stuff.
Yeah, they're great guys. Well, for people that may not be aware of what he did, when Texans begin to shout, look, we don't like this Jade Helm thing. We don't like the...
You know, we got to go to break. It's a 5-minute segment, 12-minute segment, 6-minute segment, 18-minute segment, 6-minute segment.
You got it.
So I want to just start this whole thing over. I'm going to shut up, give you the floor to tell the story in 70 seconds. Some stations don't carry this segment. Most of them do, but I decided to do this instead of stations having to carry propaganda news. We're here. So I'm gonna ask you to defer to tell your Abbott story to the next segment. You will have the floor, and then we're going to segue into Steve McQueen land, because this is interesting. It's back when men were men, and of course your dad was great buddies with Steve McQueen. I mean, it's Chuck Norris. I mean, you know, Steve McQueen discovers Chuck Norris, or I mean, it's just amazing. But we'll get into all that. But getting back into Jade Helm, I want to ask you, Mr. Norris, what do you think about the big freak out about it? Because quite frankly, it's just one more conditioning to have troops on the streets. We didn't say it was that big a deal, but now they're freaking out so bad. Did you think we hit on something bigger? Because now we're learning it is about domestic operations for sure.
Well, let me say this to you. I've had my head buried in an editing studio for 4 months. I know about Jade Helm, and I know my dad is very much an advocate for the anti-Jade Helm.
And he's Mr. Military.
Yeah.
He has the context.
Absolutely.
He hands out the Bronze Stars and Gresham Medal honors.
Yeah. And so I know Jade Helm. Gary really knows Jade Helm. And what I do know is that my dad said that the troops were kind of butting up to his ranch. And if I could just say something to them, don't do it. And also, if any troops back up to Gary Haven's ranch, don't do it. Seriously.
You've got armed helicopters.
That's it. My ranch is 3 miles from North Fort Hood. I think I'm out of luck on this.
Well, we all know the truth. The troops are awesome. They are the most, and I'm not kissing their butt, because used to I didn't like all this, the establishment using them to make themselves look good. Oh, the troops are great. But then I found out they are the most awake group. I mean, they are great.
Absolutely. We had a number of actual military men on our film that are part of a security team now. But these are all guys that have had 4, 5, 6 tours of Iraq, Afghanistan, and the troops are awake.
Yeah, let me mention something, too. One of the messages in our movie was to tell the troops that they don't have to obey unconstitutional orders. For example, if they're ordered to fire on American citizens or disarm American citizens in violation of the Second Amendment, that they should think about it. And this is what's neat about this. If they watch the movie, they're going to think about it now. They're going to think about well in advance from the time that they're ordered to do it. And so getting them to spend some time on that now may save us and them from obeying illegal orders.
There's the Providence again. I wish you would have. I should have thought to record that dinner we had and then talking at night after the shoot, because it's Providence. I mean, I cannot. I don't think I've ever experienced something this providential. Is that you literally in there with the sheriff in there in the green room while we're eating breakfast. Oh, and the sheriff's sitting there nodding, and they got some Texas Rangers coming by and stuff, you know, fans of the operation. And you're in this presentation. And Alex, I've been talking to the politicians, and I believe that Texas is going to be the battleground for this, and we've got to put this film out to warn people about what's coming, and it's my job to reach out to the governor so he knows his place in history to basically be this peaceful shot heard around the world when they say no to the troops on the streets. And I'm going, well, this could happen, yeah, but I mean, wow, I mean, this guy's really putting his money where his mouth is. But and then now it's all happening, and the governor did it. And you said I woke the governor up, and on all these meetings you've had with him and hanging out with him, and I mean, we're going to come back and you're going to get the floor and roll with the provenance of your film. And again, tell people when it's coming out in the name.
The name of the film is Amerigeddon. Amerigeddon, and we're looking at the end of the year for a release.
Yeah, because I was excited to be part of it. Once I got there, I got really excited, and I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. This film's important, folks. Actually, no, the real Lori gets even cooler. Not just the Chuck Norris, sayings and all the rest of it. Simply amazing. That'd be a good bumper sticker. Chuck Norris. Listens to Infowars.com, or how would you say it? Infowars.com, powered by Chuck Norris, but that would be kind of stealing, his name, so I won't do that. But one of my producers was making that joke earlier today. It's like, I don't get giddy about celebrities, but Chuck Norris really is just so cool. And now he's fighting Jade Helm and saying he doesn't trust Obama and control the military, and the military's been trained to go after patriots. We got Congressman Louis Gohmert saying it, and Ted Cruz coming out and saying it, which I thought was a big plus for him, and the governor leading the fight. And now, Gary Haven. Then we shift into Chuck Norris and movies and Christian films for the balance of the transmission. But Mr. Haven, founder of Curves, founder of huge supplement companies, you name it, out there trying to wake up the Republican Party, trying to take it back, trying to warn the people. Amerigeddon coming out in November, December, which literally predicts Jade Helm type of events. Red Dawn Part 2. With the very players, simply amazing. In the film, you warn the military not to be taken over by the globalists. I mean, it is a clarion call, providential, I would call it. And you didn't just say, I'm making it because it's a nebulous possibility. You said, I believe this is happening. And it was so convincing. You said it with such gravitas that I got really excited. Buckley was there, my cousin. You'd leave the room, and I was like, my God, this is something special. This guy, and then you told me, I'm waking the governor up, and I'm waking, you weren't bragging. You say, I'm on a mission, because I've already given these people tens of millions of dollars trying to get them to stop selling out America and keep our jobs here, but they won't do it. So now I'm going to start making films. And I mean, Alex, and you need to do this and that. So go through that providential stuff in your meetings, multi-hour-long meetings with the governor, private meetings, you name it. And talking to him about this big choice he would have coming up very soon. And this was just 4 months ago.
Yeah, let's start with what happened this last 2 weeks. And for people that may not be aware, the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, ordered the Texas National Guard to observe the military, the special ops that are doing Jade Helm. That's a remarkable thing. And he took tremendous ridicule in the mainstream media over standing up and protecting his citizens. What a novel idea, protect the citizens that elected you. I'm really proud of him. It took a lot of courage to do that. We go back, I retired a couple of years ago and was looking for something important to do. And I felt like that I had an opportunity and a duty to educate people, to help them to influence the culture. And the greatest threat to our culture right now is the usurpation of our Constitution that protects our freedoms. And so using media, using movies which are entertaining to teach people was what I decided to do. And of course, I partnered with Mike Norris, Chuck's son, and we began to make movies. Now, this movie, Mike and I wrote the script over last year. We didn't realize how timely it was going to be. But the byline of the movie is a true story that hasn't happened yet. And now here we are, we're in the editing process, and a lot of the things depicted in the movie are happening. For example, we talk about the National Defense Authorization Act that was passed over the last few years, which completely takes away due process in our Constitution. Today, in America, you can be arrested under nothing but suspicion of terrorism.
And disappeared.
Incarcerated, not be told where you are, that's exactly right, not have legal defense, not face your accuser, and you could be held indefinitely. That's insane in America, but it is in law, codified in law today.
And now the government's saying it's for the veterans and the gun owners and the Christians. Oh, how dare Governor Abbott be concerned, or Chuck Norris, or Louis Gohmert? How dare the congressman care?
So getting people to become aware of what our government has done to threaten their freedoms is really the mission we're on right now. This movie is helping us to accomplish that because it tells the story and demonstrates